I just added you in. Oh, there you go.
Yes!
Hi.
Hello. How
Oh my,
cool.
I know, right?
Beyonce and I are here. Hello.
First time going live
Ever! Welcome.
ever.
It's a weird moment. Well, for me, it was weird. I'm like, I'm on here talking to myself.
Right. At least I have you to talk to. That makes it less weird.
Period. Um, how are you today, though? How's your day going?
I'm I'm here.
I hear that.
I am here.
Right.
I showered, I did my hair, I got dressed. I have arrived.
You're killing it. You're killing it. You showed up with a fresh shower. Come on now. And your hair done. Come on now. Killing
Because
it.
every day that don't happen.
That's
How are you
real.
today?
I'm doing pretty good. I've just been having a lot of other conversations with different people I care about and are in community and
Yeah.
stuff. So I feel very ready for what we're going to be doing all month long and even just for today. Like, there's just a lot that's in the air and on people's minds, you know? So it's exciting. But I feel okay today. My little quote has been inspired but tired.
Oh,
Tired
I
but
like that.
inspired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that pretty much sums it up. Like, part of me is very tired, but I also feel very empowered in a lot of different ways. So,
Hmm.
balancing
I
it, I
feel
think.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we just do like short intros today and talk about like what the plan is.
Yes, yes. Let people know what's going on. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want to start or you want me to start?
I can start. Sure, sure. So hello world. My name is Kayla, and my fancy title is yoga psychotherapist. So mental health clinician and a yoga teacher, and I take a holistic approach to health. My business, The Well Healing, is how I provide the awesome community care that I believe in, especially for Black people of color and LGBTQ plus folks. But really, my heart is just in all power to the people and people to their healing as their power. So that's that's a short bit of what I do. I'm also a very proud Scorpio because that's important for you all to know. And she loves Beyonce. I'm also a Virgo rising. So there you go.
Okay.
Everything that you've ever wanted
Okay.
to know.
Thank you for that.
Good.
I wasn't planning on giving my horoscope, but since we going there. Hi, world. I'm Katrina Long, also known as Callie for those folks who know me from college or beyond that. A nickname I got there and that has continued to go with me. So Katrina or Callie is fine. I love this idea of a fancy title. My fancy title is something I actually created for myself
Yes.
because I didn't feel like a lot of titles really fit me. So I choose to call myself a holistic healing arts therapist. I do many things, wear many hats. I'm a Reiki master, a therapist, a yoga teacher, and so that encompasses all of those things. On top of just, having my own intuitive healing gifts that come into everything that I do.
Yes.
Um, and I operate with my organization, Manifesting Me Wellness, located in Inglewood, California. Also working with Black folks, people of color, LGBTQ community, and very much in alignment with just this feeling of wanting to create healing in the community and justice and find holistic ways for us to feel well. And I am a double Virgo.
Oh, so it
So
is Virgo up in here. Yes.
Yes. Very proud Virgo. I fit the Virgo thing to a T.
We love
So
a Virgo. We love a
yes.
Virgo. Okay, so
How can you not love us? We're kind of amazing.
no, y'all are. Virgos are one of my favorite signs for sure. For sure. So
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's us. I want this to be really informal, but we wanted to just hop on today to talk about it's Minority Mental Health Month. There's a lot of stuff going on in the community. There's a
Mhm.
lot of stuff that we are experiencing as people of color, as Black folks specifically, as women,
Yeah.
as queer folks, where however you identify within that community, like there's so much going on and so many layers of that. And so we wanted to just take some time to join in with the community to have some conversations, wanting to not just present things to y'all and like
Yeah.
educate y'all on stuff, but also show up very authentically, have space and time for us to kiki a little bit and talk about the experience that we're having personally.
Mhm.
But then also some topics that we want to get into throughout the month as well.
Yes. Yes. Feel that. And something that I know a lot of folks will probably relate to is the like inspired and tired like sentiment is like I've been saying even with my clients and just for myself, like very much both and, there's both a lot going on, a lot of grief, a lot of very, very heavy things happening, and there's also definitely like a strong sense of like empowerment and community and joy that are like living together at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's like across so many different layers and levels. Like it's just very both. And um so holding like just the complexity of what it means to be a Black person and trying to keep your mental health together with everything going on. Because listen, clinician or not, okay, we're all just trying our best right now. We're all just trying our best. Um, yeah, which is
Yeah.
also why I appreciate us just making this an informal, like, community thing. If you're watching and you want to say something, like, please do, because we're all just doing our best trying to navigate this together. And we're not the only experts. We're not the only experts. So also want to learn like what people are also experiencing and learning from all the both and feelings that are happening right now for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
For the folks that are here with us, if you have topics that you want to cover this month, that you want to see us talk about, vent about, cry about,
Yes.
whatever ends up coming up,
Yep.
things that maybe you have questions around that,
Hmm.
holistic mental health stuff that we can talk about, especially for the community, please drop that in the comments. We'll also post it to the IGTV so y'all can drop more in the comments as well. But we want to just hear from y'all. What do y'all need to talk about? What do y'all need to engage with? But I'm hearing you. Like I am in this space of like I probably show up more authentically than some of my therapist counterparts
Hmm.
in the
Yeah.
therapy room. And lately, even more so
Hmm.
because it is this time of just like, yo, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I'm here with you and I'm here to do my job and all of that. And also like I'm here with you and all the
Yeah.
feelings that you're having and how also for me personally it's also uncomfortable professionally
Hmm.
because like I want to be sitting with my clients in a room and be
Right.
like, girl, I hear you. And like when clients are like really in it and really crying, like there's something really magical, even if it's not like we're like hugging and touching like friends, like there's something really magical about being in a space together. So it
Yeah.
also feels very challenging to be a therapist in this time where we're forced to be at home to some
Hmm.
degree and don't feel safe being around each other and still having to like create community through a screen.
Yeah.
That's awkward for me lately.
Yeah. I definitely feel all of that. Like the thing that has been exciting and different for sure is the like sitting with my clients and like the same things. And I actually have an awesome black couple, queer couple, and just for the last couple of sessions, it's been like just being real about like how this is messed up on so many different levels, and there's like the stuff that we came to therapy for, and then there's the stuff that's happening right now.
Right.
And having to like hold all those things together, and then literally being like, we know you're professional and blah 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 blah, but we feel like you have your therapist hat on, and like this is really messed up. So like literally calling me out, like, how do you feel? And
Yes.
I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad you said that because whoop, 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 and like really just getting to have that, but that also
Yes.
being like so much a part of the work that is so important of also getting to be like, I'm angry too, like I'm sad too, I'm hurt too, and that community being so
Right.
important, especially because we're distant, right? Like
Right.
um I have to tell you or show you
Right.
like,
Yeah.
that this is it hitting me too. And but it is definitely an interesting challenge of like, especially with things being so emotionally intense and with this extra even more distance happening. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I definitely feel like I am validating more people's
Mm,
experiences in a different way,
yeah.
where like in normal times they would be able to kind of talk to their friends and engage with their friends and be with their friends, and that sense of community would be created in a different way. And I feel like people are so distant and also struggling with still being distant that
Mm,
they're talking, but it's challenging for them to say like, "Hey, I'm feeling this thing," or "This thing is coming up for me," and so then they're kind of looking at me like, "So I've been feeling all of these things, and I don't know what to do with that." And I'm
mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, girl, you too, me too, everybody. Like we all in the same place."
Yes.
Um, but yeah, it adds an additional challenge because we are so removed from each other, and we as a people are just not meant to be
Yeah.
individualistic.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I'm wondering what folks think, what you think. I actually just kind of like ran across, I didn't go deep, I just saw the headline, but it was talking about social distancing for this amount of time being as, I don't know, like negatively impactful as potentially the virus, which I felt like is a pretty strong statement. But,
yeah,
and considering, I guess, like the mental and emotional impacts that it can be a lot to have to be so distant for this amount of time. So that was interesting. And I was like, I
yeah,
don't know. Mm.
yeah. I don't. I guess maybe impactful, but not physically.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
like different.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could. I also think that's kind of comparing apples to oranges. Then,
Mm. Right.
like,
Right. Right. Right.
is it worse than the virus if
Mhm.
it's comparatively doing something different? I don't know. That's
Right.
interesting.
And I like
But
that you said that. Or go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Like it's such a disjointed way of thinking about who we are. Like your physical health is in this box over here, and your mental health is over here, and your emotional health is over here. Like, I yeah, comparing it is a really, I don't know how helpful that is. So that's a really good point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
But
I think they
and
all intertwine, but like,
exactly, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I am concerned about how it will impact us going forward in a mental and emotional space.
Mhm.
Especially like, there was a saying I read in an article once, and I was like, that's so real. Um, what was it? It was like the need for touch, but they called it something
Mm.
specific.
Skin hunger.
Yes.
Oh my God, I know because I've been going through that. That needs to be on the list. Yes, skin hunger. That is a real
Yeah.
thing. Yes, yes, yes. Listen.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
and
how
I feel
real
like
we're gonna
that.
get, but that's real. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like that's
Hmm.
a real thing. And I feel like there are people who definitely really need physical touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think many of us, to some degree, need physical touch, some more than others.
Yeah.
But I think this lack of physical touch, like many of my friends are like, I haven't had a hug in a long time.
I'm saying. Yeah.
And that's hard to take
Yeah.
in. You can't
Yeah.
even hug people because you feel uncomfortable. Uh,
Hmm.
I went to a small gathering and it was like outside and we were like on the lawn for a friend's birthday last week maybe. And it was so awkward because normally it's just like we don't know each other, but we're just like, hey, nice to meet you. And everybody was like,
Right. Right.
hey.
Doing
Like,
this. If I have to do this to one more air hug, like it's not the
yeah, it's not the same. That's just not who we are as people.
same. Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
but I think that has a huge impact on folks. And I also think that it's just more challenging to connect with people. And I think we already are in an era of being so into social media and so therefore using like the screens a lot. But I think it'll also, depending on how long we continue to do this, it'll also impact people's ability to socialize, right? Because we see a lot more youth right now who are
Yes.
growing up in the age of social media with social anxiety. They don't know how to communicate with each other in person.
Mhm.
And I feel like we're going to start seeing that more and more with people working from home, staying at
Mhm.
home more often, being more nervous about the virus, and then also the constant uprisings and trauma that people are
Mhm.
experiencing. Like,
Yes.
I don't know what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be a shit show.
1,000%. No, I've been thinking a lot. Like, what are the kids right now who are having to witness this without even full language and stuff? And I know that there's thankfully like incredible resources out there to help parents like have these conversations. And I definitely think like as a therapist, like what is my practice potentially gonna be looking like? I don't know, a year, 10 years from now when like
Right.
especially the younger folks who are experiencing this, like what is that going to look like? Because exactly like you said, there's already a distance happening. Now we're especially at home. You're having to maybe spend more time with like your family, and so family stuff is going to be like an incredible, even more conversation and stuff like that. But there's definitely so much moving. It's hard to um, keep track almost of like where is my energy best served. But I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes that's the practice, right? Is like in the here and now, what is going to be best for just showing up through my
Yeah.
day. But
Yeah. Absolutely. Looks like we have a comment here.
yeah.
This is Will Cage. I'm a yoga teacher for Baltimore, Maryland. Just got back to the US after a crappy 6-month experience teaching. I reconsidered teaching because of the lack of value I felt for my well being and craft. Wow.
Mm,
It's been exhausting fighting this fight. Yeah. Yeah. I see a lot of people reconsidering the work that they're doing in this moment as well because they
mm,
feel like they're having to give so much to their jobs and their well-being is not being considered and they're not able to show up fully, right? A lot of my clients and even friends are like, I don't want to do this anymore because they're not worried about my health and my
mm.
well-being, my mental, emotional, spiritual health in all of these settings. So I hear you. Like that's tough.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate so much that comment. And it's definitely not alone. First off, I hate to hear that, especially with it being um, a yoga teaching experience. But,
Yeah.
shook but not shocked. But I hear that a lot from folks of just in general, right? I've seen a lot of, especially within like the social justice type of fields where there's more expectation, that a lot of tables are being shaken right now, and a lot of people are calling out leadership in ways that are really incredible, and also a lot of people just feeling like um, like just approaching their work in a different way, you know,
Yeah.
like there's more things to consider now and how are they responding to what's going on. And um I feel like that can sometimes go into the tired and inspired
Hmm.
and tired kind of category, because I think a lot of people are tired of the way that they're being treated,
Yeah.
right? Not feeling valued in the spaces that we give so much of our energy
Right.
into, right? Yeah. So, and it is exhausting. Fighting this fight is definitely exhausting, which is why
Yeah.
rest and care is so important. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's making me think of the conversation that I was having. I don't even know when that was. Every day feels like a month right now. But I think I did a video on Manifesting Me Wellness about burnout, is specifically in our community, because there's another layer of burnout that's happening when you're having to integrate into these systems while still also fighting these systems
right,
and wanting to take
right,
care of yourself. And I'm so challenged with the fact that like we have to fight, but also we need to rest, and like both of those
mm-hmm.
things happen simultaneously, which almost doesn't make sense.
Right,
Uh, so yeah, it reminds me a lot of just that idea of how we, because we have to show up as activists, even when we don't want to,
right.
just by nature of being the only Black person in the room, we kind of have to show up in that way. And I think that in and of itself is exhausting.
Yes, definitely. And that um exhaustion and also the um things that are at risk, right, of
Mhm.
if we are not voicing what's happening to us. I think it's always been like one of the things that I have had kind of in the back of my mind, like as even just coming into therapy and feeling very strongly that some of the things that we experience, especially as Black people,
Yeah.
we don't necessarily get the space for recovery and for rest,
Right.
right? To even heal or address the things
Yeah.
that happen, right? And so I saw somewhere we can't self care our way out of oppression. And so what does care then really look like for us,
Right.
you know, because it's been imagined therapy and our healthcare systems, like across the board, everything is such a white male perspective that of course it doesn't work, right? So what does care actually look like for our community, you know, if we don't have those same
Mhm.
options of um getting to Malcolm X has I can't think of the exact quote, but something about being wounded and how, and you know, it's a bit graphic, so trigger warning for the graphic language, but being like stabbed in the back, right? And that knife is never even pulled out for us to
Yeah.
heal and close that wound. So then how does the rest of the body, us as a community, how do we respond
Yeah.
then if in this life right now, you know? And I know it's kind of deep and uh, in that way, but definitely something that I sit with is just part of our very real reality on what like
Yeah.
coping and care looks like under these circumstances.
I feel like that should be a topic for one of our weeks. Because I feel like
Yeah,
that's really important. Like, how do we care for ourselves in this moment? Like, it, all the things that you were probably doing that were probably helpful in the past may not be anymore. And then the things that you want to be doing are also not accessible to a lot of us.
right.
Shut down. And so then how do you navigate all of that, and what does care look like in these moments? We need to, that's
All
that's on
right
the
now,
list.
right now.
That is on the list.
Period. Um, but yeah, something I definitely think that we should explore, along with, yeah, just feeling exhausted in these spaces. What does it mean to shift right now? I feel for myself, even professionally,
Yeah.
shifting in particular ways. And um, yeah, that has so much attached to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, well, we're at about 30, so
But
I want to shut it down a little bit, but maybe you can share. You had some really good topic ideas, so maybe just sharing some of the topic ideas that you had. So
yeah, that we was
people have
throwing
some
out there.
ideas. Yeah.
Um, Ooh, so something that I think would be awesome, kind of tied to what we were just talking about, activism as mental health. Um,
Oh.
right? And I really liked when we were kind of chit chatting before, um, activism and also like aligning with your gifts in how you show up,
Mhm.
right? Because there's this a lot of conversation, especially from Black folks, like I'm not doing enough because I'm not out there on the streets. The streets might not be where you need to be. So like, how do you,
Right.
how do we
Right.
use right what we have to show up best in the moment? Burnout and
Yeah.
rest, recovery, both like professionally and just personally.
Yeah.
Um, Intersectional wellness, right? So we're Black people, but also Black women, also Black queer people, also moms or parent, or like so. Just how do we hold all the different parts of ourselves as well that are being impacted? Because your womanness doesn't just fall away because you're Black.
Right.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Which makes me think a lot about even how some people feel intersectionality sometimes gets in the way of us
Mm,
organizing or something like that. So I feel like that might be a really useful conversation of,
absolutely.
right? Yeah.
Especially with everything going on right now. Oh, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, so those are some of the things that are on my mind, and I know you also had great ideas. I'm excited for what folks drop in for us to talk about as well. But yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for that. And you included my ideas in there and made them sound even better. Gave them cute little titles.
we're on the same page. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
excited definitely to talk about those things. So
Yeah, I think it'll be a beautiful time through
yeah,
this Minority Mental Health Month. Just getting some time to focus on ourselves, talk about the issues that we're dealing with,
yeah.
just community together here on Instagram.
Right.
Just again.
So we're gonna check in and kiki each week. Please join in and throw in your 2 cents because yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be here every Wednesday through the month of July, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The videos will be recorded so y'all can catch them afterwards. If you can't be here, feel free as the video drops to drop in the comments any topics that
Yes.
you want to talk about, anything that you're interested in hearing about, learning about, or just listening to us rant about
That one
because
too.
sometimes you just need to know that you are being heard and that other people are feeling the same thing, and that's what we are here to do. And
Yes.
then the last or the first Saturday of August, we will be planning a virtual event for us to gather together and do some real community healing on
Heck
Zoom and like do some wellness stuff together utilizing our gifts because that's how we are
yeah.
showing
Yes.
up in our activism right now.
You better bring that back around. Yes. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Um, and looking forward to the month with you and with everybody else. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you
Yay.
enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and the rest of your week.
You too. You too.
I
Take
will see you
care. Take
soon.
care, everybody watching. And thank you for showing up. And I'll see you next week,
All
girl.
right.
All right. Bye.